So first of all, let's have a look at the incident in question with no comms. Now, in my opinion, it's the last lap, the last overtaking opportunity. Who in their right mind, firstly, leaves the door open at Last Chance Hotel? Why have you not even tried to show your hand by covering the inside? And then, on top of that, you turn in completely on me, set my car off balance, we're on target to hit the apex, you hit me over the apex curb, thus causing my car to lose control, and it's just a horrible situation. There's more contact, he cuts the corner, gets a 10-second penalty, which is well deserved. Because this guy, as far as I'm concerned, was trying to spin me out. He succeeded, fair enough, but he also lost out. If you want to race hard, dude, sometimes it's just not going to work out, and that's that. Here's what can happen into this section. You can leave space and you can go side by side and you can have a good bit of racing there, and that's exactly what happened. So I don't know what Sam's problem was there. He leaves the door open at Last Chance Hotel, and I mean, look here. Sam forces this other bloke onto the grass. This bloke loses control, hits Sam, there's contact. It's just a questionable situation. This guy's reckless as heck, and then decides to complain when somebody does it to him. Look at this. He's hitting me on a straight line. Front contact, rear contact. I've already flown by on DRS. This is just unnecessary at this point. Like, if he doesn't want to compete and he wants a procession, he should just log off and play time trial, to be honest with you. If you don't want to get past on the inside, cover the inside. And that's what I did here. In fact, he's lucky I got a little bit of oversteer. Plus, there's a guy on the inside, making it 3 guys, 1 curb. As to be fair, that's a decent move. He doesn't back down and sticks it on the outside, you know, fair enough. Give credit where credit's due. But he realised he screwed up by not covering the inside and just tries to turn in early and hopefully spin me out without facing any consequences himself. But obviously, you reap what you sow. If we want to leave space, we can leave space. We can race fair. I've proved that. But also, we can have this kind of situation too. Lap 1 of the feature race. Now, King James, mate, I appreciate you, I really do. But I feel like on lap 1, when all the cars constantly are up, it's possible to leave a little bit more space than that. Lap 2, Sam Newton, where you going, mate? Maybe he logged off and went to play time trial. I'm not sure why this next clip's in. Yeah, see, look, he leaves adequate space. We're going in here. I was a bit skeptical because you don't want to be on the inside here, but we are, and he leaves space there. I leave space for him on the outside, and we don't end up getting past. You know, this is just good racing. It can happen. It is possible. And then we go up the inside. Now you see it in MotoGP. They call it the block pass. Like, for me, I just go for the deep apex and then block the guy off on a different apex to him. But if you think that the only apex of a corner is on the curb, right on the inside, then that's where we have these misunderstandings. And that's why perhaps when I put it up the inside and there's contact, guys are a little bit unhappy. But the track's wide enough to take multiple lines and still leave space on the outside. This is what I call the sleeper move. Up the inside, a little bit of contact. You know, physical touch is just a love language, guys. You should appreciate it more. Here's Isaac Layat. This guy's pretty quick. He knows what's up, though. Look, if we rewind to lap 2, here we pin him against the inside wall. He hits me on the straight, expecting me to go back to the left, but we don't, because, you know, Crusty Nation always holds the line. But fast forward 10 laps, he knows what's up. Same shit, different toilet, but he's much faster. So, look at that. We do a good job of letting the guy up the inside. If you don't want to get past on the inside, cover the inside. I didn't mind getting past there because he was quicker. And if I didn't do what I did and let him up there, we would have had an exact carbon copy of this incident with James. This guy is not registering the fact that you can have a different apex to them if the corner is wide enough for that, and you can still leave space on the outside. Here we do it again. I'm not the problem being over aggressive. The issue is that everybody just assumes there's one line through the corner. And here we go again. Deep apex, late apex, but we leave space on the outside. If you think the only apex is right on the curb on the inside, then, you know, that's why there's such a big misunderstanding as to who's ahead at the apex, like in real life racing, because you have to decide where it is firstly, because depending on your radius of the corner, the apex could be at a different point. To be fair, King James does a much better job of defending the inside on the last lap. Credit to him. What I would like to see is his on board and see with me on the inside and the speed he took through there, whether he would have made the corner if I wasn't, you know, if there was no contact between us, because I think he's taking too much speed in there and turned in early again, because that's the only way he can save his soul. But yeah, it's unfortunate.